So I got this random hint of intuition to talk about how to tell when you are actually getting information from a higher source, or how to tell when you are channeling information versus just kind of like making up bullshit. It's an interesting thing because some of the information that you can get through channeling is so out there and so outlandish that it sounds like it's complete bullshit when you listen to it, but actually it could be very true. And then there also could be information that sounds like it's true and is complete bullshit, and being able to discern which one's which is probably a good thing to do. So what I do normally is to feel into the information that I'm getting in my, like, basically downloaded into me. So the way that I feel into that information is by basically, as I'm listening to myself talk about the information in my head to myself, or like as I'm hearing this information and processing it, it gives you a specific feeling. Like you'll start to feel really like empowered and like excited and like astounded with some of the information because it just feels so right. And it's hard to explain it because it comes in concepts rather than coming in sentences. So it's basically like it's all sent at one time, and then you interpret it, and then basically like, so you're the one who makes the timeline about the information that comes from source, or like comes from a higher source, is because that information is generally like given to you in one big blob of information, and then you take that and you basically like kind of part it out for yourself, and you discern the information that way. And when you do that, sometimes you can make the timeline a little bit wonky, or you could interpret the information wrong because of your own energetic system and your own influence on that information that comes through you. Because really the only way for it to be clear and direct is for you to be balanced and aligned with the universe. And you'll know when you're balanced and aligned, because it makes basically anything that happens is okay. To be aligned means to be legitimately in alignment with the nature of the universe, meaning like whatever the universe wants to bring up, you are in complete alignment with that, which means that you go completely with that flow and you don't label it at all. So there's no bad or good to it, and generally that leads to a good interpretation when you don't put a label on something. And I know that sounds weird because then you're labeling it, but like if you automatically are coming to bad conclusions that you say are bad, then there's something up with the way that you are looking at the stuff that's coming through you, and it means that you're probably experiencing some sort of blockage somewhere. And what I mean by blockage is like some sort of a filter that you're looking through in order to be able to discern this information. And basically like you're fed beliefs as you grow up, and the more and more that you start to build this story about yourself, like the more that you believe in this story that you told yourself about your life and your past and your future and who you are and what you are and why you are and all of this stuff, the more that you believe that, the more you'll end up blocking your ability to discern the information. Because what happens is you start to live in that paradigm, and it changes your entire viewpoint on reality once you start living in a different paradigm. It can literally, and it's very interesting because I'm just now starting to become aware of how many times I shift paradigms just in one day. and now having to be conscious of all of my habits and all that kind of stuff has really brought me into a point now where I can kind of look back and I can see how many different paradigms of existence I have in my own self, just from programming of what I have experienced and what I thought was my past. But as I start to let go of that, I notice that it's literally all just fake programming, especially with addiction. That's a huge thing. Addiction, nicotine, shit. That was amazing. It was like really cool because I had this belief that I couldn't focus without using nicotine, or like there was something that was keeping me to where like I'm like, oh well, it just makes me feel better in this way, or this makes me feel better in this way. And then eventually I took 6 months to stop smoking, and I started using nicotine pouches. And then I noticed that it was the same thing. It's the same addiction. It's literally the exact same thing. So eventually I was able to convince myself by every day for 6 months telling myself that I feel better without taking this than I do with taking it, and then watching myself take it anyways, and then even getting to the point where I could be so conscious of every time that I took it that I would see the effects on it. I would see exactly what it did to me. I see how it made me anxious. It made me like it made me jittery, and it made me feel all these negative things. And since I've just been so habitually stuck to it, I've literally just like kept doing it consciously too, which was it's amazing that I did that for so long. But yeah, so I literally just it's been a little over a week, and it feels really good. Like honestly, I feel relaxed, and I feel like I have the ability to like I have so much more attention. Like it feels like so much of my time and effort was going towards it's basically putting your attention and power to other things in like nicotine. I mean, like it seems like such a small thing, but it takes up so much of your thought, and it takes up a lot of energy. It really saps your energy. Even though it seems to give you more energy sometimes, it saps it a lot worse. What was I talking about originally though? So whatever, but I guess I just got distracted. But yeah, it's just changing your paradigm to start to see the world in different ways. So basically what I did, okay, let me finish the story. What I did was I took it consciously for a while, and then eventually I told myself every day, you know, I was like, I can tell that this is making me feel worse, and like I could tell that it was making me feel anxious, and it was making me feel all these different things. And then eventually I'm just like, you're gonna have to just like let it go completely because you can't be off the nicotine and on it at the same time. And you can't just take it and then not take it and then just start back up and then stop and then do all the like blah blah blah. So eventually I was just like, fuck it, like I'll just let it go, you know. And so I did, and it with the process that I took, it literally gave me no withdrawals whatsoever. I honestly felt better immediately, and I still feel better. And I'd say the worst was the first day, and then after that it was nothing. Literally, like I didn't even think about it that much, because every time that it came up in my brain, I just kind of just let it go. I'm like, nope, no more, and then I just keep telling myself that, and that's basically how I let it go. And so I'm doing that now for all the things in my life that I've been noticing that I maybe have addictive tendencies for, or just anything really, like, and it really seems to be changing my entire just see, like I've seen now that most of the things that I thought that I was feeling bad was because I was convincing myself that I felt bad, or I felt like I had a reason to feel bad. When in reality, if I just told myself that I felt better, then I'd start feeling better. And it's taken a while to be able to just convince myself that it's okay to, like, it's okay to feel okay. And it's okay to be okay with just whatever is here, you know? Like, it's just, I don't know, you know? Like, it's okay to just be here without having to reach for something or to do something or to feel something extra or to not feel something extra, or just like it's all okay, because the only reason that it feels like that stuff is necessary is because it's become a habit. And even the worst, like even the worst of addictions, like hardcore opiates and things like that, physically, yeah, it's really bad for a while, like maybe a couple weeks. And the thing about that is that it convinces you that, like, that you're not gonna feel good again, like, ever, or that you'll never be the same, or like you have this knowledge in the back of your head that you'll never be the same person that you were before you started doing drugs, you know, like. And that can be a really big deterrent for people, because they feel like they'll never feel okay again without it. And because it introduces you to a state of consciousness that, yes, is attainable through regular sober living, but the way that it comes on with that and other hardcore, like, drugs like that in particular, the way that it comes on, it has this quality to it where it convinces you that this is something that you can't attain without taking something externally. And that's like what its message kind of is, in a way. And it like convinces you of that. And that's not true at all, because like I've noticed from my personal experience that I actually feel better now than I ever have in my life. And that came from the feeling that I got from letting go of everything. And even the things that you feel are really scary to let go of, or that you hold on to, after you just tell yourself, you don't even tell yourself anything. Like, you just have this knowledge, like, if you want to be healthy and you want to be happy, then you can't do things that are moving you into unhappiness and unhealthiness. So it's like there's a point that you get to where you're just like, you have to just move forward, you know? And I wish I could show people how the feelings that they get with these substances and everything are attainable through just living, and how it's actually true that it's all in the mind. Like the Kabbalion says, the all is mind, or the universe is mental. It's all in your head, you know? So like the way that you feel is in your head, which means that it's manufactured by you, and you are the one who can change the way that you feel. No matter what story that you told yourself, you can tell yourself that you're the miracle that was miraculously out of nowhere fixed from all of your issues, and if you truly believe it, then it'll happen. But society's really good at convincing people that that's not possible. So you know. Who knows until you really try it, right? Because how many people have actually been like, I'm gonna manifest something right now, and actually believed that they were able to do that? How many people do you think have ever done that, you know? And the people who did, and they saw that it manifested immediately, how many of those people do you think recognized that they did that consciously? Or if they just expelled it as some sort of fluke because everybody around them told them that it was just a miracle or some sort of something that wasn't possible to do over again. Never know. Well, Jogger Man. I don't know, man. I guess I have a lot to talk about with it when it comes down to addiction and things like that, because it's something that I've been looking so deeply into and feeling. Yeah, I guess I'll make another video and just go a little bit deeper into that right now. I hope this helps somebody, you know. It's very, it's weird once you see how easy it is to make big changes in your perception rather than having to see things externally. Once you start just feeling the changes internally, then that is just the same thing as manifesting it externally. It gives you the exact same feeling, and it's literally like jumping to the finish line or like folding the dimension in order to get what you want immediately, because it's like a very quick attractor to it, and it gives you the feelings that you were searching for in the first place. And I feel like that's what true manifestation through visualization is. Anyways, yeah, I hope this helps somebody, and y'all have a fantastic day. And let's get the sun in here. Say bye-bye, sun. Bye-bye, sun.